Welcome to our channel History of Coins, where we explore the hidden gems of numismatics. In today's video, we're diving into the fascinating world of U.S. state quarter-dollar coins, as some of these coins are rare and can make you rich overnight. In this video, we are gonna uncover the rarest coins and their values. So make sure to watch the complete video and find out if you have one of these. Now let's continue our today's video. Top 1 today. We're taking a deep dive into one of the most talked about coins in modern American history, the United States of America Virginia State Quarter from the year 2000. At first glance, it looks like just another state quarter from your spare change. But there's a twist. Some of these coins are not ordinary at all. Hidden among millions of regular quarters are a few extraordinary ones worth far more than 25 cents. In fact, one rare version of this coin has stunned collectors with its incredible value. So grab your magnifying glass, because this might be the coin that changes the way you look at pocket change forever. The Virginia State Quarter was released in 2000 as part of the iconic 50 State Quarters program launched by the U.S. Mint. This series celebrated each of the 50 states with unique designs that tell stories from American history. The Virginia Quarter honored the state's proud heritage, marking the 400th anniversary of Jamestown, the first permanent English settlement in North America. The design on the reverse of the coin features 3 historic ships: the Susan Constant, the Godspeed, and the Discovery, the very vessels that brought settlers across the Atlantic in 1607. Beneath the ships, the words Jamestown 1607 to 2007 remind us of the endurance, adventure, and courage that built early America. On the obverse, we have the familiar portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan, a constant presence across all quarters of that era. But what makes the Virginia State Quarter from 2000 so fascinating isn't just its design or history. It's the rare and mysterious minting errors that make some of these coins stand out and command jaw-dropping prices among collectors. Most of these coins were produced at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, with millions entering everyday circulation. However, during the minting process, small imperfections, mechanical slips, and die variations created limited runs of unique error coins. These errors are what transform a simple piece of change into a potential treasure point. One of the most famous varieties is the off-center strike, where the coin's design is visibly misaligned. Part of the image is missing, giving the quarter a dramatic, eye-catching look. Then there's the double die error, where parts of the design appear duplicated or shadowed, particularly in the lettering or the ship details. These doubling effects are extremely rare and often require magnification to identify properly. Another fascinating variety is the wrong planchet error, in which the coin is mistakenly struck on a metal blank mint for a different denomination. When this happens, the weight, color, or even the size of the coin can look slightly off, a telltale sign that you're holding something extraordinary. Collectors adore these rare mistakes because each one tells a story about the human touch in coin production. A brief imperfection that slipped through the mint's precise machinery, escaping quality control and finding its way into circulation. Imagine how thrilling it would be to discover such a coin in your loose change or tucked away in an old coin jar. Some collectors have spent years searching for high-grade Virginia quarters with these rare features. The most valuable versions are those that remain uncirculated, showing crisp details, flawless luster, and minimal handling marks. Grading services like PCGS or NGC can verify the condition and authenticity of these coins, which can dramatically increase their value on the collector's market. Beyond errors, there are also a few proof and silver versions of the 2000 Virginia Quarter that add to the excitement. Proof coins, made especially for collectors, were struck with a polished finish and sharp detail using special dies. Some of these proofs were minted in pure silver and sold in limited sets, making them far rarer than standard circulation coins. Their mirror-like surfaces and flawless strikes make them beautiful to look at and highly desirable to own. What truly makes the Virginia 2000 State Quarter unforgettable is how it bridges history, art, and mystery. It's not just a coin. It's a miniature time capsule of America's beginnings, and a reminder that even in everyday currency, hidden treasures still exist. Each ship on its surface represents the courage to explore new worlds, and each error or variation represents the chance discovery waiting to be made by those who look closely enough. So, the next time you're about to spend a quarter, Take a moment to check the year and state. That plain-looking coin in your palm might hold a secret worth exploring. And if you're lucky enough to find the right Virginia quarter, the one with the rare error, the perfect strike, or the untouched mint condition, you might just be holding a tiny masterpiece of American minting history. Now for the part you've been waiting for. Among collectors, one special Virginia state quarter from the year 2000, a rare and flawless error coin, has reached an unbelievable value. That single quarter, originally worth just 25 cents, has been appraised by numismatic experts for an astonishing $82,000. So keep your eyes open, coin enthusiasts. The next great treasure might already be jingling in your pocket. Top 2, we're heading straight to the heart of the United States Mint's 50 state quarters program to explore one of the most remarkable coins ever produced, the 2001 New York State Quarter. This little piece of metal is more than just currency. It's a slice of American history, a symbol of resilience, and for a lucky few, a golden ticket worth far beyond its face value. So, grab your magnifying glass, coin lovers, because this one deserves your full attention. The New York State Quarter was released in 2001, just as the nation entered a new century and a new era. It was the 11th coin in the legendary 50 State Quarter series, a collection that celebrated the unique history and identity of every U.S. state. Each design was more than artwork. It was a story stamped in metal, a tribute to the culture and pride of the people it represented. The New York Quarter, in particular, carries a powerful design that instantly captures the imagination. On the reverse side of this coin, the state outline of New York is beautifully displayed behind the Statue of Liberty, with a line tracing the Hudson River and the Erie Canal. The words "Gateway to Freedom" arc across the top, symbolizing New York's historic role as the welcoming beacon for millions of immigrants who arrived in America through Ellis Island. The year 1788 marks the moment New York became the 11th state in the Union, while the year 2001 forever links the coin to a time when America's spirit was tested and its unity shone brightest. It's a design that feels alive with meaning, both patriotic and poetic. The obverse side of the coin bears the familiar portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan and restored for the 50 State Quarter series by William Cousins. While the design may appear ordinary at first, not all New York quarters are created equal. Among the millions produced by the Philadelphia and Denver mints, a small number were struck with rare minting errors that transform these coins from everyday change into extraordinary collectibles. One of the most famous and desirable variations is the double die error. In this rare case, parts of the coin's design appear duplicated or shadowed, especially the lettering around New York or Gateway to Freedom. Under magnification, you can sometimes see this ghostly doubling effect, giving the coin an almost three-dimensional texture. For collectors, spotting one of these is like discovering buried treasure. Then there are the off-center strikes, where the design is noticeably misaligned, leaving part of the coin's surface blank or distorted. Each off-center coin is completely unique, making it a true one-of-a-kind piece. Another incredibly rare variety is the wrong planchet error, when the quarter was accidentally struck on a blank intended for a different denomination, such as a dime or a nickel. These coins are slightly smaller or lighter than usual, and their unusual composition gives them away. Because such minting mistakes occur by chance and are quickly corrected, very few escape into circulation, which is why collectors are willing to pay small fortunes for them. There are also instances of missing clad layers, where the outer layer of metal didn't bond properly, leaving the coin with an unusual color and texture. Each error adds character and intrigue, turning a 25-cent coin into a rare gem. What fascinates collectors most about the New York 2001 quarter is how it captures a moment of history so vividly, both in design and timing. The Statue of Liberty, standing tall and strong on the coin's reverse, became an even more powerful symbol of hope and resilience in 2001, a year forever etched into American memory. For many collectors, owning this coin feels like holding a piece of that strength, a reminder of unity, freedom, and the enduring American spirit. When it comes to value, condition matters just as much as rarity. Coins that have never been circulated, known as mint state or proof condition, are the ones that fetch the highest prices. These coins retain their sharp details, brilliant shine, and flawless surfaces. Professional grading services such as PCGS and NGC examine coins with microscopic precision, assigning grades that determine their collector value. A coin graded MS 67 or higher, especially with an error or special variation, can command prices that sound almost unreal. There's also an elite group of proof coins struck specifically for collectors. These were made using polished dies and planchets, giving them mirror-like finishes and frosted designs. Some proof versions were minted in 90% silver, making them even more special. While most proof sets were carefully preserved, a few have been lost or separated over the years, and when rediscovered, they can become highly sought after in the numismatic community. What makes this coin truly thrilling for collectors is not just its design or symbolism, but the mystery of what might be hiding in plain sight. Every time someone opens a coin roll or checks their spare change, there's a small chance of finding one of these rare error quarters. It's the possibility, that little spark of hope, that keeps collectors searching, inspecting, and dreaming. The New York quarter, with its blend of artistry, history, and rarity, stands as a reminder that even the smallest objects can hold immense value, both sentimental and financial. Now here's the moment every collector waits for, the number that turns this story from interesting to unbelievable. Among the rarest known examples of the 2001 New York State quarter, one particular error coin, preserved in pristine, uncirculated condition, has reached an extraordinary value on the collector's market. That little piece of metal, originally worth only a quarter, has been appraised for an incredible $79,000. Next time you're sorting through your coins, take a closer look at that New York quarter. Because that ordinary-looking coin in your hand just might be your ticket to something extraordinary. A small piece of American history worth far more than its weight in change. Top 3, we're going on a fascinating journey through one of the most beautiful and underrated coins in the entire 50-state quarters collection, the United States of America Arkansas State Quarter from 2003. This coin may look simple at first glance, but for those who know what to look for, it hides a story of art, history, and mystery that could make it worth far more than its face value. So get ready, collectors, because you might just be holding a little fortune without even realizing it. The Arkansas quarter was released in 2003 as part of the U.S. Mint's ambitious 50-state quarters program, which celebrated each state's heritage through unique coin designs. Arkansas was the 25th state honored in the series, and its design perfectly captures the state's rich natural beauty and deep connection to the land. On the reverse side, you'll find a stunning composition that includes a diamond, a mallard duck gracefully flying above a serene lake, and a background of tall pine trees. Each element tells a story. The diamond represents Arkansas's famous crater of Diamond State Park, the only public diamond mine in the world. The duck and water symbolize the state's abundant wildlife and natural resources, and the forest reflects its lush and fertile landscape. Together, they create one of the most detailed and picturesque designs in the series. Done on the obverse side, we have the familiar image of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan and adapted by William Cousins for the 50-state quarters program. While this side may look identical to the other quarters in the series, not every Arkansas quarter is the same. Among the millions that rolled out of the Philadelphia and Denver mints, a small number of coins left the presses with rare and fascinating errors. Mistakes that now make them incredibly valuable to collectors across the world. One of the most intriguing types of minting errors found in the Arkansas 2003 quarter is the double die strike. This occurs when the coin design is accidentally impressed twice, creating a subtle shadow or doubling effect on certain details like the lettering, the diamond edges, or even the duck's feathers. Under magnification, these doubled features seem to jump off the surface, giving the coin a mesmerizing, almost 3D appearance. Collectors absolutely love these because no two double dies are exactly alike. Each one tells its own unique minting story. Another rare and valuable variety is the off-center strike, where the design is not perfectly aligned on the blank coin. This can result in part of the image being cut off, leaving a crescent of blank metal on one side. The more dramatic the off-center strike, the rarer and more valuable the coin becomes. There are even examples where the date or part of the word Arkansas is missing due to the misalignment. These coins are instantly recognizable and highly sought after by collectors, but the excitement doesn't stop there. There are also examples of the Arkansas quarter struck on the wrong planchet, meaning the coin was mistakenly made on a blank intended for another denomination, such as a nickel or a dime. These wrong planchet errors are incredibly scarce and can usually be identified by differences in size, color, or weight. Some were even struck without the full outer clad layer, giving them a strange copper tone and unusual texture. These quirky mistakes are precisely what make the Arkansas 2003 quarter so appealing to serious collectors and hobbyists alike. Now, let's talk about condition. When it comes to coin collecting, condition is everything. Most Arkansas quarters from 2003 circulated widely, meaning they show signs of wear, scratches, dullness, or faded details. However, a small number were preserved in pristine, uncirculated condition straight from the mint. These mint-state coins shine brilliantly and display crisp details with no blemishes. If you find one of these rare examples, especially with a minting error, you're looking at a coin that could fetch an astonishing price. Professional grading services like PCGS or NGC evaluate coins based on strike quality, luster, and overall appearance, and their certification can significantly increase a coin's market value. The Arkansas 2003 quarter is not just a coin. It's a miniature piece of Americana. Its design celebrates nature, history, and craftsmanship, while its rare errors represent the human side of minting, the occasional imperfection that turns something ordinary into something truly extraordinary. Every time a collector examines one of these coins, they're not just looking for metal. They're uncovering a story of creativity, precision, and chance. Many collectors also seek the silver-proof version of this coin, which was produced in limited numbers for collectors. These proofs were struck multiple times on specially polished blanks, resulting in a deep mirror-like shine and incredibly sharp detail. Some of these silver proofs, especially when kept in their original mint packaging, have also gained impressive value over time. The real thrill of collecting coins like the Arkansas quarter lies in the unknown. Somewhere, hidden among ordinary change, might be one of these rare and valuable pieces. And the only way to find it is to look carefully, patiently, and with a collector's passion. Who knows? The next time you check your change or open that old jar of coins, you might discover one of these Arkansas treasures waiting to be recognized. And now, the moment every collector has been waiting for, the jaw-dropping number that makes your heart skip a beat. Among the rarest and most pristine examples of the 2003 Arkansas State Quarter, a unique error coin in perfect, uncirculated condition has reached an unbelievable value in the collector's market. That small piece of American history, once worth just 25 cents, has been appraised for an astonishing $77,000. So, coin enthusiasts, keep your eyes open and your magnifying glasses ready. The next legendary coin could be right there in your pocket. A simple Arkansas quarter that tells a story of art, history, and a touch of minting magic, waiting to change your collection forever. Top 4, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and mysterious quarters from the United States Mint, the 2009 Guam State Quarter. At first glance, it may look like any other coin in your pocket change, but beneath its surface lies a story of history, rarity, and collector obsession. This small piece of metal has become a symbol of culture, identity, and unbelievable value for those lucky enough to find one of its rare varieties. So sit back, focus your collector's eye, and get ready, because this coin could change the way you look at pocket change forever. The Guam Quarter was released in 2009 as part of the U.S. Mint's District of Columbia and U.S. Territories Quarters program. This special series followed the legendary 50-state quarters program and celebrated 6 U.S. territories: the District of Columbia, Puerto Rico, Guam, American Samoa, the U.S. Virgin Islands, and the Northern Mariana Islands. Each design was carefully chosen to highlight the unique culture, geography, and heritage of the territory it represented. The Guam Quarter, in particular, stands out as one of the most beautiful and meaningful in the entire series. On the reverse side of this coin, the design proudly features the shape of Guam itself, flanked by a traditional sailing vessel called the Flying Prow and a latte stone, an ancient stone pillar used as the foundation of Chamorro houses for centuries. These symbols represent the deep history and cultural strength of the Chamorro people, the indigenous population of Guam. The inscription Guahan Itano Man Chamorro written in the native Chamorro language, translates to Guam, land of the Chamorro people. Every detail in this design celebrates the island's identity, its people's resilience, and their proud heritage as part of the greater American story. And on the obverse side, we see the classic portrait of George Washington, a design that has appeared on all quarters since 1932. But what makes the 2009 Guam quarter so special isn't just its artistic beauty. It's the astonishing rarity of certain errors and varieties that have turned this coin into one of the most sought-after treasures among collectors. But let's talk about those minting errors, because this is where the magic happens. The most famous and valuable Guam quarters are those struck with double die errors. In these rare cases, parts of the design, particularly the lettering, the island outline, or the sailing ship, appear slightly doubled, creating a fascinating shadow-like effect. Under magnification, this doubling gives the coin a unique three-dimensional appearance. Each double die coin is distinct, and collectors go wild for them because they represent accidents that the mint never intended to happen. Another incredible variety is the off-center strike. When the coin is not perfectly aligned during the minting process, part of the design is missing or appears shifted toward one edge. The more dramatic the off-center strike, the rarer and more valuable the coin becomes. Some Guam quarters are so misaligned that a portion of the island outline or text is completely cut off, making them true one-of-a-kind pieces. Then there are the wrong planchet errors, when a quarter is accidentally struck on a metal blank mint for another denomination. Imagine a Guam quarter struck on a nickel or dime planchet, smaller, lighter, and completely unique. These coins immediately stand out to experienced collectors because their size, color, and weight are just slightly different from a regular quarter. A few of these have been verified by grading companies, and their market value has skyrocketed. Collectors also look for missing clad layer errors, where the coin's top metal layer wasn't properly bonded. These coins have a dull copper tone instead of the usual silvery shine. While they might look odd at first, these imperfections make them extremely collectible. Even tiny anomalies like die cracks, filled letters, or uneven edges can increase the value of a Guam quarter dramatically when found in mint state condition. Now, here's where things get even more exciting. Condition is everything. Most Guam quarters have been in circulation for years, picking up scratches, dullness, and small dents along the way. But a small number were preserved in pristine condition, known as uncirculated or proof examples. These are coins that never saw everyday use and still shine with the brilliance they had the day they were struck. If you find one of these in perfect mint condition, especially with a confirmed minting error, you might be looking at a coin worth thousands, or even tens of thousands, of dollars. Proof versions of the Guam quarter were also made by the San Francisco Mint for collectors. These coins were struck multiple times on polished blanks, giving them a stunning mirror-like finish. Some were even made of 90% silver, making them not only visually stunning but materially valuable as well. These silver-proof versions, when preserved in their original mint packaging, are already worth far more than face value. But if one of them happens to feature a rare error, that's when the value skyrockets. What truly makes the 2009 Guam quarter special is how it connects history, art, and rarity all in one small circle of metal. It's not just another piece of change. It's a tribute to the island's culture, a product of precision minting, and in rare cases, a dazzling accident that slipped past the eyes of the U.S. Mint. For collectors, finding one of these rare variations is like discovering buried treasure, a perfect combination of beauty, history, and luck. So, the next time you're sorting through your coins or counting your spare change, pay close attention to any quarter with the year 2009 and the word Guam. Flip it over, look closely at the details, the lettering, the island outline, the ship, the stone. You never know what you might find. That ordinary-looking coin could be your ticket to something truly remarkable. And now, the moment every coin lover has been waiting for, the value reveal. Among the rarest Guam quarters ever discovered, a flawless uncirculated example with a dramatic minting error has been valued by collectors and numismatic experts for an unbelievable $75,000. So keep your eyes sharp and your passion strong, because your next great find might already be in your pocket. A 2009 Guam quarter carrying not just the spirit of an island, but the promise of a small fortune waiting to be uncovered. Top 5, we're uncovering one of the most remarkable treasures from the United States Mints America, the beautiful quarters program. The Saratoga 2015 quarter. At first glance, it might look like any other coin sitting in your wallet or change jar, but hidden among the ordinary ones are a few extraordinary examples worth a small fortune. This is not just a story about metal and mint marks. It's about history, artistry, and the thrilling chase for one of the rarest quarters ever produced. So get ready, collectors, because this is a coin you'll want to hear about to the very end. The Saratoga quarter was released in 2015, the last coin of that year's series in the America the Beautiful Quarters collection. This program, launched in 2010, celebrated national parks and historic sites across the United States, with each coin representing a place that holds a deep connection to the nation's story. The Saratoga quarter honors Saratoga National Historical Park in New York, a site that marks one of the most crucial turning points in the American Revolutionary War. The Battle of Saratoga in 1777 was the first major American victory that convinced the world that the young United States could stand against one of the greatest armies of its time. The reverse side of the coin captures this historic moment perfectly. It depicts a detailed scene of British General John Burgoyne surrendering his sword to American General Horatio Gates, the first time in history that a British general surrendered to an American force. The inscription, "British Surrender 1777, runs across the bottom, symbolizing a moment that changed the future of the United States forever. Above the image, you'll find the word Saratoga, surrounded by New York, e pluribus unum, and the year 2015. The obverse side features the timeless portrait of George Washington by John Flanagan, used on all quarters since 1932. But beyond the powerful design and history, what makes this coin so fascinating is its incredible rarity in certain conditions and the unique minting errors that have turned ordinary Saratoga quarters into coins worth thousands, and in some cases, tens of thousands, of dollars. Let's start with the most famous varieties. One of the rarest and most sought-after versions is the double die error. This happens when the coin is struck twice, creating a shadowed or doubled appearance on specific details such as the lettering, the sword hilt, or even parts of the figure's uniforms. Under magnification, these subtle but clear doublings make the coin look almost alive with texture. Every double die is unique, and collectors go crazy for them because no two are exactly the same. Then there are off-center strikes, a type of minting error where the design is not properly aligned on the planchet, leaving part of the image missing or pushed toward one side. These coins are incredibly rare because the U.S. Mint maintains strict quality control, meaning that very few of these errors ever leave the facility. A Saratoga quarter with an off-center strike can command massive attention in the collector's market, especially if the date or major design features remain visible. Another exciting error is the wrong planchet strike. Occasionally, a blank intended for a different coin, such as a dime or nickel, finds its way into the minting press, resulting in a Saratoga design on the wrong metal disc. These coins look slightly different in color, size, or weight, and they're so unusual that they immediately stand out to anyone familiar with coins. Because these errors are so rare and virtually impossible to reproduce, their value skyrockets once confirmed by professional graders. Some collectors have also reported partial missing clad layer errors on the Saratoga quarter. These happen when the outer layer of nickel and copper doesn't bond correctly, leaving a strange reddish tone or rough texture on one side of the coin. At first glance, it might look like damage, but to experienced collectors, it's a potential jackpot. These rare minting mistakes turn an ordinary 25-cent coin into a unique collectible that can fetch stunning prices at auction. Condition, of course, plays a huge role in determining value. Most Saratoga quarters have been in circulation for years, showing the normal signs of wear: scratches, dull surfaces, and faded luster. However, a small number have been preserved in mint state condition, coins that never entered circulation, kept just as they came from the mint. These uncirculated examples, when combined with rare minting errors, are the ones that excite serious numismatists and drive record-breaking sales. Proof versions of the Saratoga quarter were also struck by the San Francisco Mint. These coins were made using polished dies and specially prepared blanks, resulting in sharp, mirror-like finishes and incredible detail. Some were produced in 90% silver, making them even more desirable. If you happen to own one of these silver-proof coins in flawless condition, you're already holding something special. Add a rare minting error into the mix, and you might have one of the most valuable modern quarters in existence. What makes the Saratoga 2015 quarter especially thrilling for collectors is the combination of its symbolic design and the mystery of its rare errors. It tells a story of victory, resilience, and independence, values that still resonate deeply with Americans today. And just like the battle it commemorates, discovering one of these rare quarters feels like a triumph. A small but powerful victory for every coin hunter who dares to look closely at the change in their pocket. So, the next time you're sorting through your coins, don't overlook the year 2015. Flip those quarters over and look for the word Saratoga. Check every detail carefully: the sword, the lettering, the edges. Because that one small coin might be more than just a piece of metal. It could be your key to an extraordinary discovery. And now, for the moment every collector waits for. Among the rarest known examples of the 2015 Saratoga quarter, one remarkable error coin in perfect, uncirculated condition has achieved an astonishing market value that has left collectors speechless. That tiny piece of history, originally worth only 25 cents, has been valued at an incredible $72,000. So, keep your eyes open, coin enthusiasts. Somewhere out there, hidden in plain sight, might be your next great find. A Saratoga quarter that carries not only the story of America's first great victory, but also the promise of a truly life-changing discovery.